Good evening, Drew.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Good. Hold on. I've got a. There we go.
Uh-oh.
I had a hum. I had a hum.
Got a
The hum
hum.
is gone.
Got a humdinger.
Hum is gone. I had a hum. I had a hum. How are you? How are you?
I'm okay, buddy. I'm a little hurt. Right? Not emotion. Well, I mean, emotionally, I'm damaged. I got a little pain right now, but I don't really know what's causing it, and I want to make really funny jokes about it, but I need to wait to make sure it's not anything like serious, because that could come back to haunt me if I don't.
Got it.
So we're gonna wait to make sure I'm okay before we joke about it. But I'm gonna give it another day or so, and maybe I need to go to the doctor, but we'll see.
Got it. It could just be, you're a man of a certain age now, so.
Well, I'm certainly hoping that's what it is. That's all I can really say about it right now.
Okay.
But if it goes away, then we'll make some goofs and gaffs about it next podcast.
Good. Okay.
All right. Well, speaking of being a man of a certain age and how fussy I am, I've got a problem that I think you are uniquely positioned to help me solve.
Okay. Okay.
I may have mentioned on this podcast, for Christmas, my lady friend bought me a third generation set of AirPods.
Okay.
And I am a heavy AirPods user. I use them all day for both listening to music and for doing my Teams calls and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
However, what I have come to realize is that the third generation AirPods do not go in the case in the same orientation as the original AirPods. And
that is, yes, they go in more like the pros do.
And
yes.
I have yet to successfully put them away in the correct orientation the first time, every time.
Oh,
yes.
no. Oh, no.
And the first time it happened, I was like, okay, fine. These go in the other way. But every time I look at the little picture of like the way the AirPod is supposed to go in there, my brain can't unpack that shape. And like I always put the wrong one in the wrong side. Like literally it has happened every time for the past 2 weeks that I've owned these things.
Well, I mean, okay. So, that goddamn hum's back. God damn it.
Is it me?
No, it's definitely not you. No, it's not you. Because it's I hate audio gear.
Are you running a fan? I hear a fan.
No, that's the hum.
Oh, well, that's not a hum. That's just like noise. Okay, now I don't hear it.
Okay. I think I got it.
Leave all this in.
Yeah. Okay, so walk me through this. Okay.
All right. Hold on. Let me get him. Let me get him. Right.
Okay.
Okay. So I've got.
But let's take a step back though. Okay. Let's pretend they're in your ears. Okay?
All right.
They're in your ears.
Okay. They're in my. Okay. I'm going to take them out of the case and I'm going to put them ear adjacent. Okay. So.
Okay.
Okay. Drew's done for the day. Drew's going to take out his AirPods. So he takes out his AirPods.
So walk me through the whole process. Okay.
All right.
The whole process.
Okay. I mean, how verbose do you want me to get here? I take my right hand and I take.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do the whole. Let's do it.
Okay. I take the right AirPod out and I set it on my desk. I take out the left AirPod and I set it on my desk. I then grab my AirPod case. I flip open the top and I grab one of the AirPods. Now, literally, as I'm talking to you, I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, okay, this AirPod is my right AirPod. It's my right AirPod. But when I look at the shape of the case, my hands go instinctively to the left-hand side because it's just the way that shape is and where the stem is and the shape of the thing, it doesn't look right.
Drew.
What?
Drew.
What?
You immediately broke the cardinal rule of AirPods.
Well, that's why you're here. What did I do?
Okay. AirPods should be in one of two locations: in your ear or in the case. When you set it down on your desk, you've already failed.
Yeah, but hold on though. Hold on. That's bullshit, and here's why.
No, it's not bullshit.
My case.
It is not bullshit.
My case is on my desk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the case stays on the desk unless it goes into my pocket.
Okay. I'm not talking about the case. I'm talking about the AirPods.
Okay, but hold on, because I'm gonna argue. Right now we have ourselves an argument. I have been known to have to potty, and I am not going to run the risk of these AirPods falling into the toilet. That's not I do not take these near a toilet at all.
Okay.
So I will take these out of my ears to go upstairs to use the toilet and to maybe grab a snack and then come back downstairs and put them back in my ears. So
during that time, you know where they should be?
No.
In your case,
because
in the case. Okay. So what here? Drew. Okay. This is Paul taking his AirPods out. Okay. Case in left hand, flip up lid. Right hand, reach to right ear, grab it, put it in the case. I know exactly which AirPod it is. It's the right one. It's the right orientation because I just took it out of my ear. I drop it in the case. I switch case to my right hand. Take my left hand, grab my left AirPod, put it in the case, close the case, put case in pocket.
I would concede that at the end of the day, when the AirPods are done, that is absolutely an appropriate workflow. But in times where I need to take my AirPods out of my ears, right, where I am walking around my house and I'm done on the phone, right, and maybe I need to use, I don't know, the bathroom or get a snack or something that doesn't require my AirPods to be in my ears that particular moment, they will go in my pocket or they will go on my desk. What?
You're killing me.
Why?
There's two places AirPods should be: in your ear, in the case. There is no other place your AirPods should be.
You keep up with the sass, they're gonna go right up your ass next.
They shouldn't be on your desk. They shouldn't be on a counter. They shouldn't be in a pocket. No. Air to case. That's it. And you know what I don't have?
What?
I don't have a problem knowing which AirPod goes in which spot because I'm taking it directly out of that ear and putting it in the case.
Okay. All right. Okay. This was mainly a commentary on the fact that if you were to look at the first and second generation AirPods and the AirPods third generation, all I'm telling you is that the AirPods face a different direction than the other case. That's it. That's what fucks me up. The end.
Yeah. But see, you're you're a monster.
I'm not a monster. My feelings are hurt.
They should be hurt. You're bad, and you should feel bad.
God damn it. Hey, speaking of though, switching gears for just a moment. You still have Apple Arcade, right?
I do. Yeah.
Have you played Thumper?
I've played Thumper before on non.
I was aware of Thumper, but I'd never played Thumper. But I played it on my iPad Mini.
I played it on PlayStation VR. That's where I played it the most.
It's very, very weird.
It's a rhythm game disguising itself as a weird going down a tube simulator.
Fever dream. But I mentioned this, right? Because I played it on my iPad Mini with my new AirPods, and man, that the actual music and like sound effects in that game sound really good in there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, enough about scolding me. So what do you got? You got topics this week, bud. Let's get into it.
Well, like first things first, I got my COVID vaccine booster last night.
Congratulations. How you feeling?
Yay. Awful. I feel awful.
Oh, okay.
Actually, it's not too bad, but like it was funny. Like I got it late. I got it like at around like 8:00 last night. So by the time I ran a couple errands and I got home, it basically was straight to bed for Paul. And I woke up this morning and my arm hurt, but I was feeling okay. And I'm like, maybe this won't be so bad. And then I remember it was like a couple minutes before 9:00 this morning, and I'm sitting at my desk working, and I have to go to the bathroom. So I stand up to go to the bathroom, and that stand up motion, my body was like, guess what, Paul? Everything hurts now.
Wow.
So I took a couple of naps and have been popping the Advil, but I'm all right now. It's my arm's still sore. I'm still not feeling 100%, but it's worth it. It's done. I'm done. I got all the vaxes. I'm fully vaxxed.
Well, your comment is timely, right? Because my lady friend got her booster last week when we were on break. And she made the comment to me that it was really hard to get it scheduled. So where did you get it, and did you schedule it?
Yeah, actually, I scheduled it the same day. I got it at a CVS in Grove City. I just went on their website, and they had a bunch. They had a bunch of appointments. So for me, it was actually really easy. I went from, I should probably get my booster to getting my booster that same day.
Yeah, so I'm actually looking at as you started talking about this is something that's kind of been on my list for a while here, and I kind of need to get this scheduled. And I'm actually on the Walgreens website right now, and the closest thing that people have to me is there is one available on Kenny Road tomorrow, Cemetery Road in Hilliard, but I'm working at those times. High Street downtown, Polaris Parkway on Thursday. Wow, that's on the 20th. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to have to get this scheduled. Check CVS. They're doing it, right?
Yeah, that's where I got mine with CVS. Yeah.
I wonder if I could just do a walk-in.
I have no idea.
Schedule a vaccine. We are adding more appointments. Check back later. Cool. Oh, wait a minute. It thinks I'm in Chicago again.
Oh, that you're not in Chicago.
No. Hold on.
You? No. Okay.
No, I'm not. Okay. I'm not here. We'll change to. Oh. Actually, I forgot that there was one. Can I make this my store? CVS wants to know my location. Hot CVS is in your area. All right. My store. Why would it let me change my store? Get store details. Where do I click to make the CVS your website? Sucks. If you're listening, you're not listening.
It's CVS. Yeah, it's not a great website.
Set as my CVS store. Wow, you couldn't have done that on the other one, huh? All right, let's go back to the homepage. Vaccine boosters.
I can't even see. Okay, I'm just getting. We're adding more appointments for you. Please check back later.
Yeah, they're not even going to let you.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Well,
the batch process must be running.
Oh,
at 9 o'clock.
Right. Yeah. ETL's a bitch, ain't it? All right. Well, I've got my little vaccine card here. My last vaccine dose was on 5/18. Wow.
Yeah. So
it's a while ago.
Eligible.
Now I'm eligible. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that scheduled. I would love to go tomorrow, but I'm like literally booked all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mandy didn't really have she's been feeling a little under the weather, just kind of episodically, but she's been much better than the first doses she got. And I never really got sick for mine. My second dose made me feel worse than my first dose the first time. And I know a lot of people have gone down hard at work on the booster. So I'm nervous, but I'm not nervous.
Yeah, I mean,
I would love to get it on a Monday, so I don't have to ruin my weekend. Let's just put it that way.
I get that. Yeah, I get that.
So I probably won't get it tomorrow, but I'll probably get it mid next week if I can. Cool. Well, good for you. Now, is everybody in your family boosted now? Or Arabelle isn't, right?
Yeah, my daughter is not. They finally approved boosters for her age group, but it won't be 6 months until May, I think, if I didn't remember correctly. So she's got some time to wait before she can get her third shot. But I can say that everyone in my house has all the shots they're supposed to have. So, yay.
Cool.
Yep.
And Zach hasn't any problems or anything?
Nope.
Cool. Very cool.
Yep.
Okay. Oh. Well, good for you. I hope you feel better. It's a good thing. I mean, you're a professional and you're playing hurt. I appreciate that about you.
I'm playing hurt.
Yep.
It's fine. I mean, what else am I going to do?
It's true. What else are we going to do?
I'm doing my best.
Yeah.
That's a callback.
That's a callback.
Title. That's the title we never say.
All right. Now I'm sort of looking at the next topics here, and you've been a busy boy with your media.
Yeah, I've consumed a lot of media.
All right, I can't wait to hear about all of these things. Let me just be honest.
Okay. I'm going to start with movies, and I'm going to go into TV shows.
All right, let's hear it.
So, Spider-Man No Way Home is the movie that finally got me back into a movie theater in 2020. Did I see it? I saw it last.
Do we need a spoiler sound effect?
I'm not going to talk about I'm not going to do spoilers unless you want me to.
Well, I had something spoiled for me on this movie.
Okay.
Now, granted, I had no plans to go see it, but I had something spoiled for me in it. So
yeah, it's one of those things where if you're even MCU adjacent, you've probably heard someone talk about this movie in a spoilerly fashion.
I heard it was really good.
It's spectacular. It's
So can you quickly summarize like the plot?
everybody knows Spider-Man is Peter Parker, and he doesn't want everybody to know that Spider-Man's Peter Parker.
Oh, okay.
There it is. Shenanigans ensue.
Now I finally got around to watching Spider-Man Enter the Spider-Verse, the animated one.
Oh, very nice.
That was
Yes.
that was great.
Yes.
But what I've been told is this movie is basically the non-animated version of that.
Kinda, in a way. I mean, there's no Miles Morales in it. That's a spoiler.
Okay.
But yeah, yeah, in a way, because it does, as you know, this is not the first crack at Spider-Man in the movies, right?
Right.
Sony's had two other, franchises before. This movie, how do I say this in a way that's not awful? Kind of ties that all in together in a very MCU way. But it's done really well. It's done in a way that, like, my kids who have never seen, Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, they still appreciated the movie. My wife, who's about 50-50 for liking MCU movies or not, she enjoyed the movie.
Interesting.
I loved it. It's a 2.5 hour movie that feels like 45 minutes. Which is there'll be a callback for the next movie when I talk about that, because that is not a good. Anywho, yep, it's a really good movie. If you're feeling brave enough to go into the theaters, it's what got me back into the movie theater. It's a really good movie. I highly recommended. 2 thumbs up from Paul.
Can I get this movie without having to go to a movie theater?
Not yet, no. Well,
Damn.
maybe you can find it on the back of a truck. It is not streaming anywhere. It is in theaters only at the moment.
Damn. I would love to watch this, but I just know that I won't get to see it in a movie theater. I won't have an opportunity to do that. And I do want to see it. I've heard amazing things about it.
It's good. It's really good. Yeah.
Okay, next.
So the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Have you watched Matrix Resurrections?
I have not. You sound disappointed.
It's awful.
Why?
Awful.
Why is it awful?
Awful. It's just bad. It's bad in every way a movie can be bad. I don't think the action's good. I don't think the writing's good. I don't think the story premise is good. The special effects sure look pretty. I don't think they cast the actors well. I don't think they wrote the script well. I think it was just I bet you could make a shit ton of money if we did another Matrix movie, and then they did it. It is a 2.5 hour movie that feels like it goes on for 3 weeks. Like, I kept going through. I remember the first time I'm like, this movie has to be almost over. Pause. Oh, I've only watched 45 minutes. Shit.
Well, okay.
And
okay.
It's bad.
Let me stop you.
Absolutely, it's terrible.
Let me stop. Let's just pump the brakes for just a second. Okay. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it. I do want to see it because, as far as I'm concerned, there is only 1.5 Matrix movies prior to this. The original Matrix was groundbreaking from a special effects and storytelling perspective, and it's unfortunate that, like, right-wing dodos have, like, co-opted the whole red pill metaphor, but whatever. But, like, I love the original Matrix. I will occasionally watch it from time to time because I just think it's a really good action movie. Okay.
Yes.
I did not like what was it? What was the second one?
Oh,
because the third one's Revolutions, right?
Yeah.
Reloaded, Matrix Reloaded.
Reloaded,
and then Revolutions,
and then Resurrections.
Those movies were overly preachy. They rehashed the same sort of action. I did not like them. I didn't think they needed to be 2 movies. They could have easily, like, taken both of those movies and combined them. I mean, the Wachowski sisters at this point, right? I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
The Wachowski sisters get a little bit preachy in their storytelling. and their metaphors are pretty heavy-handed at times, and I did not like those movies. However, The Animatrix was fucking amazing, and that's what I consider to be like canon. The half, because Animatrix is dope. I don't know if you've seen that.
I have.
Yeah. Animatrix is good. I like The Animatrix.
I feel very similar to you about to me, there is only like, okay, I'll give you an Animatrix. Like of the movie trilogy, only the first movie is good. The other two didn't need to exist. If you feel that way, I think you will also hate this movie.
Well, that's fascinating
because it feels like the second and third with a healthy dose of, remember the first movie you liked a lot? Here's a 5-second clip from it.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because I have to believe, maybe incorrectly, I have to believe that it's better than the second and third original Matrix movies.
I think it may be one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Woof. Okay. Now
it's bad.
I do want to watch it. I do want to watch it just because I do like all of the actors involved. I did read the plot summary for this movie because I was genuinely curious, because I was very confused about how they were going to remake the first Matrix, which is what I thought this movie was about, but I think I'm wrong.
They go to significant effort to justify this movie existing.
Okay.
Like they do the most bizarre shit with the plot. It's I don't know. It's
there's no orgies at the center of the earth, right?
No.
Okay. That right there I'm going to call a win.
The hoops they jump through to justify this movie existing with these particular characters, because I mean, if you remember the trilogy, our heroes were left in a very, very, very big predicament at the end of the third movie. Like,
you mean dead? They were dead.
Dead.
They're dead.
Exactly.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they're dead. And they're not anymore, obviously.
Right. I don't know. I didn't quite understand how they pull that off, but I'm sure they attempt to explain it.
They try.
Okay.
They certainly try. Yeah, it's a bad movie sprinkled with nostalgia to try to feel good about the movie because you liked another movie.
Okay.
I just didn't think it was like, it's slow, it's poorly acted, it's poorly written. The special effects do kick ass. They kick ass. Special effects really, really good. It's not worth it. I mean, maybe it's a whole nother experience if you go see it in a movie theater. I watched it at home. I'm glad I watched it at home and didn't waste like
$40.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh man, that's disappointing to hear.
Just here. This. I just pulled up the Rotten Tomatoes page. It's a 64% tomato score, which I think is generous. Looking at the critics, this is from James. I don't know. I'm not going to try your last name, James. It's too complicated. Get a simpler last name. This is his caption. The Matrix Resurrections is a waste of time and money. For fans of the series, it's a betrayal that deserves to be ignored and forgotten as soon as possible.
Ouch.
There we go. Yep. I agree with that. 100%, James. Way to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, but hold on a second. So Matrix Resurrections is 2021. Hold on. Rotten Tomatoes is being kind of assy for me. Okay, so 64%, right? But 64%, if I look up The Matrix Reloaded,
I'm sure it's less.
No, it's 73%.
Oh, okay.
And then what about Revolutions in 2003? Oh God, that's a 35%. Wow. Wow, that's how bad. Man, Revolutions was bad.
Yeah,
Revolutions was bad.
It's bad.
So would you agree that the second Matrix film is better than Resurrections, but Resurrections is better than Revolutions?
To me, I think Resurrections is worse than Revolutions.
Woof. Woof.
And Revolutions was bad, like really bad.
Yeah, Revolutions was very bad. I can't believe Reloaded is this highly regarded. I did not like it at all.
I mean, at least with the original trilogy, they were trying to tell a story, right? Like they had something they wanted to wrap up, right? The war between the humans and the machines, right? Like that was the arc. Granted, the whole subplot with the Agent Smith was just bad. Most of the movie was bad, but at least they had a plot. Like they go through such mental gymnastics to justify this fourth movie existing. It's like,
man, Rotten Tomatoes is a hell of a website, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't Look Up got a 55%. I didn't watch that yet, but I heard it's not funny. Like it's not funny because it's like almost so on the nose.
Oh.
I'll have to watch that one. And there's a new Scream coming out. They're remaking Scream. Oh my god. How did I not know about this? I love that movie.
Oh.
No? Come on.
No,
that was a time and a place for us.
Yeah, okay. The movie is absolutely fine. They don't need to make any more of those.
Yeah. It's a remake of the first one apparently. I mean, how old were you when that came out? I think I want to say I was like middle school or freshman year of high school.
When did that movie come out?
That was Destination. That was absolutely Destination movie time as like a young adult. 96.
96. I graduated high school in 95. So.
Okay, so 96, I was a sophomore. I remember going to the theater to see that, and like I had never even liked horror movies till I watched that movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh man. All right, moving on. You still got more. Give me more.
Okay. Are you a fan of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Drew?
I'm absolutely a fan of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but I have a confession to make. I sort of stopped. Okay, let me back up. I never watched it when I had cable. I only got into it on streaming services.
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
I binged it back when it was like season 8 or 9 was all they had in streaming services, and I know they have continued to make that show. I'm a huge fan of that show. I don't think I've watched anything past season 9.
Okay, that's fine. I highly recommend getting yourself a Hulu subscription and watch season 15, which just came out.
My wife, on the other hand, has watched them all, and she is a big fan of that show.
Oh.
And I, baby, I'm sorry, you're a better person for it. Like her humor, her ability to make jokes has gone off the scale since she started watching some of these shows. And I hear season 15 is an absolute banger.
Season 15 is an absolute banger. I think the first episode, which it's called like 2020 A Year in Review, might be like the greatest 20 minutes of television of television that has a commentary about the last couple of years. It's so well done.
Well, she watches it at night on her phone until we get our TV that will be delivered 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
Which I'm sure I will have a story about that when that's finally resolved. But she watches it at night. I have sort of like come and gone in and out of the bedroom as she's been watching it. I've caught little snippets of it. I think I know exactly what episode you're referring to.
Yeah. It's the very first one, and then the rest of it is basically like them going to Ireland, and it has a funny commentary on COVID. Like I would just watch season 15, Drew. I would just like
go right to 15.
Just go right to 15 because it's such a product of the time. At least it's good. It's good.
Okay.
There's plenty of COVID jokes. There's Trump jokes. It's good. It's phenomenal. And thank you, Merlin Mann, for getting me hooked onto this. The creators, Rob McElhenney, Charlie Day, and Glenn, I forget his last name, have started a podcast where they watch an episode they basically starting in season 1, they watch an episode and they talk about it. And the podcast is magical. It's giving me an excuse to kind of go back.
What's the name of the podcast?
It's I believe it's Always Sunny in Philadelphia podcast.
Getting that link right now.
No, it's the Always Sunny podcast. That's what it is.
The Always Sunny podcast.
Podcast. Yeah. Yep.
Glenn Howerton. Okay.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. I've only got a couple of episodes in because I'm trying to watch the episode that they're talking about before I listen to the because I think it makes it better because they refer to the episode as they're talking. But I can already tell it's going to be a truly magical experience. So if you like It's Always Sunny, I'd highly recommend.
Okay, done. Subscribed.
Yep. Oh, it's so good.
I licked and subscribed.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
And you got one more.
I got one more. I haven't got to the new season of this actually just started today. I haven't got to watch it yet because it's a family event. But BattleBots is back, baby.
Okay, help me a second. Mm-hmm. So BattleBots again was a thing that was a time and a place. It was a TV show where people made robots and they attacked each other.
Yeah, and
by each other I mean the other robots.
Yes,
yeah.
That's exactly.
They did not attack the humans yet.
The robot fighting as a competitive sport never went away though. It's been thriving very well.
That's what I was wondering, right? Because the TV show went away, but I would occasionally see like YouTube clips of people having these competitions and calling it BattleBots, and I didn't know if it was the same thing or not. Yeah.
So they rebooted it, I think, 2 years ago. So this is the third season of the reboot.
Where do you watch it?
Discovery or Discovery Plus.
Oh, okay.
But I love BattleBots. I love everything about it. As far as like competitive sports, I think you could do a whole hell of a lot worse.
Okay.
And they literally, for those of you who don't know, it's these teams get together and they build like a 400-pound fighting robot, and then they put that robot loosely, right? It's a remote controlled car, right? They have controllers, like they do stuff, and they put that robot into an arena with another robot, and they fight. It's like a 3-minute fight. They fight to either one of the robots is disabled and can't move. And if that doesn't happen, it goes to a panel of 3 judges where they judge the fight and pick a winner. The whole everything about this show is absolutely wonderful. I love the personalities. I love the behind the scenes look at the robots. I love the interviews with the drivers and the team. I love watching robots explode. Like I remember, I used to watch this when I was a kid, when I was on Comedy Central, I think. One of the things that has really changed since then is, people are making much more sophisticated robots, right? The price of those components have dropped down, so there's more people doing it. There's more sophisticated robots. The robots are faster. They're more powerful. And also, battery technology has changed quite a bit. So the batteries are more high energy and denser, which means there's more explosions and fire now. There just is. Like, if someone manages to hit one of those lithium-ion batteries,
oh man,
boom, fire,
critical hit.
And that's exactly. And it's just absolutely phenomenal. I highly recommend it. Like I said, the new season has started today. Yeah.
Do they still have the like arenas that are also hazardous?
Yes. So the arenas have kind of obstacles. So in the corners, there's these like 200-pound mallets that the operators can hit the button and drop the mallets down. There's like saws that come out of the floor. I remember those being like a big deal when I was a kid. They are less of a deal now. The drivers are better. The bots are armored and like don't get pushed into the corner that much. Occasionally they still make a difference. I think one of the most interesting things they've done in recent years is there was this period of time where like every robot maker tried to make their robot as close to the ground as possible. Mm-hmm. So like a wedge couldn't get underneath them and then push them up. It was just kind of this arms race to see who could get their robot to be like as far down onto the ground as possible. Well, a couple seasons ago, they changed the floor. So the floor of the arena is like, it's made of these metal plates, and the plates aren't exactly even. So some of the plates kind of stick up a little bit to kind of prevent that. Like, if your robot's too low, chances are you're going to get caught on the actual floor, right? So they make everyone kind of have to lift the robot up a little bit to handle this uneven floor. And I think the sport is better for it. Yes, I said sport. It's a sport where robots fight each other, and there's sparks, and there's explosions, and there's fire.
If pool can be a sport, this can be a sport. Let's just be honest.
It is amazing. You get to see just these groups of the nerdiest people you have ever seen in your life make these $1,000 robots and then just throw them at each other. It's phenomenal. I can't wait. We'll probably start watching this season tomorrow. It's good. I cannot recommend it enough. BattleBots.
And what season are we on now?
They say season 6. I don't. Yeah. Discovery's claiming season 6. I think this recent reboot is like 3 years old, but it's good. It's good. You can watch, if you get Discovery Plus, you can watch last season. You can watch all of them there. Last season was weird because it was the COVID season, so they didn't have a crowd in there.
Yeah, but the robots can't catch COVID.
But yeah, exactly. The robots can't catch COVID. It's really good. I'm so happy it's back. It's BattleBots. It sounds stupid, but it's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Cannot love me some robots.
Well, since we've been sort of like on this media kick this episode, I do want to report that I finished watching season 4 of The Crown on Netflix. Are you familiar?
Okay. I know of the show. I have not watched it.
So it's actually the 5th season is coming this year, and okay. When the show first came out, I watched all of season 1. And I'm in the process of rewatching it again. I watched all of season 1 and I started season 2, and for whatever reason I just stopped. I think I got distracted or something happened. I don't know. I just stopped watching it. But then I think it was either last year or the year before. Maybe it was the year before. They came out with season 4. And season 4 takes place at a time where it is directly when you and I were alive and probably old enough to remember things, right? So it takes place in the 80s. You have people that are sort of household names for people like you and I, right? So like Princess Diana, Prince Charles,
right? Yeah.
Margaret Thatcher, and all the stuff that happened like in the 80s, right? Whether or not you lived in Britain or not, because Diana was sort of like a worldwide figure and still is. Even though she's not alive anymore. That's not a spoiler.
No. You can't spoil history.
Can't spoil history. But I watched all of season 4 and it was outstanding. And I'm in the process. Good. I'm going to go back and rewatch the episodes that I didn't watch. And it is a really good show. I would say that if you are not overly familiar with the British monarchy or the British form of government, you probably need to watch the show with your phone to Google who people are. Because like I knew of Prince Philip, right? That's who was married to Queen Elizabeth, right? And they show you the episode where they get married, but like I had no idea where he came from or how he got to marry Queen Elizabeth and like what his title means and all these different titles that the different kids in the monarchy have, and like how the prime minister forms a government. Like there are things that I think you either need to look up ahead of time or as the show is on to kind of understand, unless you are British, and I'm not.
I wonder if there's got to be what I need to know to understand The Crown video on YouTube. Hold on.
Yeah. But you know, like season 1 and 2, there's a lot of that because it starts in 1947 and sort of goes into the 50s. Like huge spans of time flow very quickly in that show, where there might be one episode that spans the course of like 6 months, just because all of the episodic stuff doesn't happen back to back. It sort of is spread over a series of time, and they do a good job sort of having you sense that it's happening over a period of time, because again, not really a spoiler alert, but Queen Elizabeth gets to be queen because George VI dies, right? And she is the female heir to the throne. But they sort of show how his health deteriorates, and then how she starts to take over more responsibility, but everybody thinks he's getting better when he's getting worse, and then he dies sort of unexpectedly. And, you know, she's like the last person to find out that he dies, and there's reasons as to why that is. And it is a very well written show. It is very well produced. There are very good actors in it, especially season 4, because you have Gillian Anderson is playing Margaret Thatcher, and I would never know that because she totally nails like the whole Margaret Thatcher vibe. Just with the way she dresses and the way she acts, because it totally captures her mannerisms. Because I was old enough to remember like watching Margaret Thatcher talk to Ronald Reagan and be on TV, and like I remember that, right? And the actress that plays Diana totally nails it. The show makes you want to take a shower sometimes because it's just nobody wins. Everybody just hates everybody. And like the rigidness and the unloving and the unflinching, like, you know, you have to do things like, and the optics around making sure that the British monarchy looks a certain way, and how people basically get thrown to the wolves to protect certain aspects of the royal family. And it's just, there's a lot of like little political infighting that happens, and it's mesmerizing TV, but like, and of course it's dramatized, right? Like it's dramatized, but even if it's like remotely true, because it's notoriously tight-lipped as to what happens in those closed little inner circles.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Like, obviously it's designed to entertain Americans, so it's going to be dramatic. But like, how, like, do people know like how close this is to the truth? Like,
I think so. Like, one thing that they like, there's a lot. Okay, so just looking at the Princess Diana aspects, I think is the easiest one to sort of explain. I mean, everybody knows that Prince Charles and Princess Diana's marriage fails, right? Like they were never truly happy. But what's really interesting is, at least for me, being someone who never really followed the royals at all, again, living in America, like I didn't realize how fast their marriage goes downhill and how much of it was very carefully scripted and hidden. And it makes sense when you look back on it based on the things that Diana did by herself versus what she did with Charles and how they handled the kids, and like the stuff that she goes through. Like, it's very easy to look back on history and see Diana as this tragic figure. And I do. Like, I genuinely think that she was done really dirty by the royals, but she didn't help herself either, because they don't make her out to be a martyr in this show by any means. They make you feel sorry for her, but they also show you some things about her that you might not have been aware of, like all of her eating disorders and how she also cheated on Charles, and what leads to their eventual split, and the friction that she gets with the royals, and how they all start to push her away after embracing her. And like, I think that, yes, there is a dramatization aspect to that whole thing, but it's done very well, and it is a very good show to watch. Again, if you're not totally up to speed on the British monarchy or the British form of government, it might seem like it's a really stupid show to watch, but give it a watch. I would say give it a shot. Like, if you're looking for something new to watch, I would absolutely highly recommend it. And the music is phenomenal. The actors and actresses are all phenomenal. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a kind of a ringing endorsement.
Oh, I'm gonna have to start watching that. Oh, I'd also recommend, speaking of Princess Di, if you're into podcasts, the spectacular podcast called You're Wrong About. They did a 5-part arc on Princess Diana, and it's really, really, really good. As for me, someone who hasn't watched The Crown, I think they actually did this before The Crown, or before this episode of the season of The Crown came out. But just knowing Princess Diana from pop culture, really, it was really interesting to listen to. And yeah, it's just a good podcast in general. If you can get past most episodes, the audio quality is garbage, but it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. And yes, I will say that if you're the type of person who doesn't like hearing about eating disorders, they definitely call it out in this podcast. And there are definitely big warnings plastered on some of the episodes, because that was apparently something that really plagued Diana, and they do not shy away from it in the show. It's not gross, but it is something that they highlight, and something that is called out several times in the show. Yeah, but definitely good. I think I have listened to this podcast before. I feel like this isn't the first time this has come up either. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
Probably not. I mean, it's a good podcast, so it's good. Yeah, I think 5 parts. I think it was. Yeah. part 1, the courtship, part 2, the wedding, part 3, the affairs,
Yeah.
part 4, the divorce, part 5, the crash.
Yeah, the one thing the show doesn't really go into is the spectacle that was their wedding. They basically end one episode with them preparing to go get married, and that's the other thing too. The filmography and the photography in this show is phenomenal. Like every shot is just shot very well. There's some really breathtaking stuff, and I don't know where they film it. I don't know if they film this necessarily on location or they build elaborate sets to basically represent different royal estates and palaces and 10 Downing Street and all the different places that the show goes, like, you know, when the Queen goes on her tours and stuff. But it's a very pretty show to watch too. And like I said, the music is really well. So big ringing endorsement for me. And I'm a big fan of like historical dramas anyway, so maybe that's just me, but it was really good. It was really good.
The Crown. Here, I'm going to add it to my list. I'm adding it to my list.
Yep.
In Netflix.
Yep.
Which means nothing because my list is where shows go to die. But,
All right. One last little piece of thing. Are you still doing Xbox Game Pass?
I still have Xbox Game Pass. Yes. Though my Xbox Series S has turned back into a Forza machine.
Okay. Just so you're aware, I don't know if you're aware, but as of today, which is January 6th, Mass Effect Legendary Edition has just landed on there.
Oh, okay.
And I played all 3 of those. I'm going to play through the remastered version, but I just want to make that as a public service announcement that is part of Xbox Game Pass now. I'm glad I didn't buy it when it came out because it's now on Game Pass.
Oh, quick follow up to the green man with the grapple hook, Halo.
Oh yeah.
Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
The last 4 hours of that campaign are rough.
Like rough how?
One of the great parts about this particular game is the open world. Being able to go around and having big open, like, you know, being outside and running around. There's a point where you start doing campaign missions and you hit this point of like, it doesn't warn you. Like a lot of games, you're like, hey, if you go any further,
yeah,
like, okay, the game, like, but it doesn't do that, but it should, because it goes back to the let's just walk down a series of corridors style of Halo. It goes into that hard for like the last 4 hours and you can't get out of it. You're like, you're on rails the rest of the way. I mean, the grapple hook is still amazing, but
now did you finished it, right?
I finished it. Yeah.
What'd you think of the ending?
The story is absolutely bonkers.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, like I had no investment in the Halo lore. I don't know who, like, I know the Covenant, but I have no idea who these Banished are and why I'm fighting them. I vaguely know Cortana, and I get the vibe that she basically committed a bunch of war crimes. But I have a different blue lady who's not Cortana, but is Cortana, and it's just basically it's like, okay, the all the blue and red people, they need to die, and that's all I care.
Got it.
Yep,
got it.
Humans good, not humans bad.
It's
very
that whole point of no return thing, right? Where you're basically forced to go through the final aspects of the game. When you finished it, were you able to go back to the open world or like?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't totally screw you over though.
No, you get to go back to the open world and do all the stuff. And I played back in the open world for about an hour, did a couple like the side missions, and I was like, it's time.
It's done.
Yeah. And I started playing Far Cry, and now I'm just playing Forza again. So,
wow. Yeah, I need to get back into Forza. Freaking love that game,
dude. It was like that game. I don't know whether they did it for the holidays or what, but like I launched that game for not playing it for like a month, and I had like 8 messages, and all of them were like, "Hey, you got a car? Hey, you got a bunch of wheel spins? Hey, you get a car?"
Yeah,
it was just perfect to get me like, "Oh yeah, I remember why I like this game," because I play for a little bit, and then the screen goes spinny, and I get something. Woo!
Yep. Yeah, they are very generous with rewards in that game.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, it really hits the dopamine.
Oh yeah, so many wheel spins when I got on there. I'm like, ooh, I got a new car. I'm gonna go drive that car around. I got the Warthog from Halo. It was great.
Oh. All right, buddy. What do you say we wrap this one up?
Yeah, let's do that. As always, we're on the internet, doingtheirbest.com. You can find us on Twitter at Doing Best Pod. I'm on Twitter at Paul Baylor. And where can we find you, Drew?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Pittsburgh, PITTFURG.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. And sorry about the hum question.
I'm sure they're sorry about the hum.